1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Boxing clever. Teenagers supported through sport at this youth club in Nottingham, but they're facing a tough new challenge. They're seeing more and more young people who have never smoked before taking up vaping.
I'd say it was around 14, 15 when I smoked my first vape.
That's quite young. Were you smoking first, or you went straight to vaping?
Straight from vaping. It was like a trend.
Obviously, disposables came in, and then they were just flushed around, young people especially, and obviously it was quite a quick trend.
And now it seems like a load of young people are doing it.
Literally.
I see 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and little kids.
Lorenzo and his friend Theo told me vapes are easy to come by, even though it's illegal to sell them to anyone under 18.
You're not supposed to buy them unless you're over 18. How easy was it to get hold of them?
It's easy. You message someone on Snapchat and they'll come to yours. Or you can tell them an address and they'll meet you. It's a matter of minutes.
Good.
The club was founded by Benjamin Rosser, who works to reduce youth violence in the city.
Well done. Back up, skip back.
He says the trade in illegal vapes is leaving young people vulnerable to exploitation by criminal gangs.
People are struggling big time. The cost of living crisis is causing people to do things that they might not necessarily have done.
And you're worried about them being exploited?
And I'm always worried that young people are going to get exploited into all different types of things, whether into vaping, to county lines, or any other criminal behaviour.
When vaping shops blazed onto our high streets, they were promoted as a way of helping adult smokers quit. But data from the charity ASH shows more than 7.5% of 11 to 17-year-olds now regularly use the products. Disposable vapes are often sold in colourful packaging, with flavours that some say target children. And now the government has announced a ban.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they're sweets.
Rishi Sunak was visiting this school in Darlington today and said the ban is part of his wider plans to create a smoke-free generation, so that eventually no one can buy tobacco. But he's had to announce that the smoking bill will be a free vote in the Commons, after facing criticism from some on the right of his party, Conservatives who say it's unconservative.
I don't think there's anything unconservative about caring about our children's health. But on smoking, there's been a long tradition in Parliament of these being free votes, which aren't party political. People will have their own held views on that. That's the same as it's been in the past. So I respect that some people would disagree with me on this. But again, I think this is the right long-term thing for our country.
But will a ban be enough to stop children from vaping? We've been investigating the products on sale. Legally, vapes should only contain 2 mils of liquid with 600 puffs. We visited several different shops in several different cities, and some are openly selling vapes that give you more than 600 puffs. Now, we've just brought this product. It gives you 9,000 puffs for 18 mils of liquid. That's way over the legal limit. And some in the industry say this is what we should be tackling rather than simply banning disposable vapes. In Peterborough, I meet Liam Chapman, the CEO of a chain of 11 vape shops, who feels the ban will be counterproductive.
Disposable vapes have a place in the market. They are helping people convert. There's still 220 people that die from smoking every day in the UK.
There is a concern, though, that some of the flavours you've got, like pink lemonade, bubble gum, and are designed to appeal to kids. You know, they're so bright and colourful and all the flavours.
I think you will find some products like that, not necessarily in this store. They are in the industry.
Some of these are quite colourful and the flavours look quite like kids would like them.
They are colourful, but if children aren't coming into the store, then it's not appealing to them. We don't allow under 18s into our store.
Right.
The government says it's mindful of the impact on industry and so will introduce a consultation on how to restrict fruity flavours and packaging. The Scottish and Welsh administrations both say they will also introduce bans on disposable vapes.
Well, earlier I spoke to the government's Minister for Public Health, Andrea Leadsom. I asked her if the government should have predicted the dramatic rise in the number of children vaping over the last few years and acted sooner.
Well, it has been rising rapidly. I think many parents across the country are very worried. Lots of teachers are extremely worried. You know, schools are putting some vape detectors into the toilets, and it has been an exponential rise. So I think we are acting soon. We've had a consultation. This is something that that we are determined to make a top priority. And of course, the fact is that it is illegal to sell vapes to children under 18. But what we're trying to do with these new measures is to create on-the-spot fines, much more money for enforcement so that we can actually stamp out vaping amongst children. Vaping is a very useful quit aid if you're an adult smoker and you're trying to stop smoking, but children should never vape. It's got incredibly bad consequences for them.
Do you accept, actually, that the public health messaging, which back in 2015 was really, really clear, that vaping was at least 95% less harmful? The Vice President for Policy at the Royal College of Paediatrics said last year that messaging was very unwise and it opened the door to significant chaos. If you look at the numbers of the children now vaping, you could reasonably connect the two, couldn't you?
No, not at all. No, it's never been legal to sell vapes to children. The rise in vaping and the deliberate marketing of bubblegum flavour and cherry cola flavour and little bright packages that look like sweets, that is completely illegal. It's never been legal to target or market or sell to children. So this is something that has grown up quite apart from, what was intended to be something that would help adults to stop smoking.
Sorry to cut across you, but we also know that millions of illegal vapes, potentially more dangerous, unregulated, have been stopped by trading standards in the last couple of years. The number of illegal vapes coming in also rising. Doesn't that make this ban ineffective?
No, not at all. No, we're ramping up enforcement, ramping up the amount of money that's available to enforcement officers so that they can catch these illicit vapes. But also, actually, the evidence from history is that when we've made it more difficult for people to smoke cigarettes, actually the reduction in accessibility to cigarettes led to a reduction in illicit cigarettes. So it is a reasonable expectation that the same will happen with vapes, that as fewer people are vaping, so the illicit market will reduce.
I mean, the vaping industry say there is a very real risk in the opposite direction in this strategy.
Well, they would
banning
say that.
Disposable,
yes,
perhaps, but their argument is that banning disposable vapes will have a serious knock-on effect for those adults who are using disposable vapes to give up smoking, which is what you want them to do.
No, because there will always be refillable vapes, and they're still significantly cheaper than a packet of cigarettes. And, of course, they don't carry the same risks. I mean, with some of the vapes that we see, particularly disposable vapes, and as you rightly mentioned, the illicit vapes, they are discovered with illegal levels of heavy metals in them, with other things like antifreeze in them. These are devastating. Nobody quite knows what this is doing to the lungs of young people.
Children may be drawn to exactly those vapes if they can't buy the disposable ones somewhere else.
No, because that's the point, is those are the disposable vapes, so they won't be drawn to the disposable vapes.
But the illegal ones, I'm talking about the illegal ones.
And that's why, as I say, we will be significantly increasing enforcement, on-the-spot fines, trading standards, going into stores, checking them for actually what sort of vapes they have, whether they are legal or not.
And just finally, if you would, this is part of the PM's move to gradually ban all cigarette sales. His predecessor, Liz Truss, says it's profoundly unconservative. That's an argument, presumably, many of his MPs would share.
Well, actually, it's not changing anything for adults who already smoke. This smoke-free generation is coming in for anybody who turns 15 this year will never be able to be legally sold a cigarette, which means it doesn't take effect for another few years yet, which gives plenty of notice to retailers, to big tobacco firms. And so, no, it's not changing the rights of adults.
So Liz Truss is wrong when she says this is a profoundly unconservative move?
I think protecting children's health and protecting children from harm is a very conservative thing to do.
Andrea Leadsom, thanks for talking to us this evening.
Thanks.